You know what sound that is, folks. You bet. Time for another Noon Whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anslone, and glad to be back. Who do we have today, Chris?
To Florida, John.
It was good. It was good, but it's good to be back. I'm glad to be back in Wisconsin where the weather's warm and the sun shines bright. Who do we got with us today?
Looks like Scott Kunes, Chief Operating Officer from Kunes Automotive and RV. Welcome, Scott.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Scott's
thanks for taking the time.
He's also a parent of an Elkhorn Area School District, two Elkhorn Area School District children. So what an awesome, we have a local business owner and employer and parent. So pretty nice opportunity here.
Yeah, so, and I got to take the opportunity to embarrass Elena and Sadie because that's a
perfect.
Yes. That's perfect. Well, hey, while we're introducing, I did a little research and found out, Scott, in 2014, you were a 40 under 40 recipient for your work with Kunes Auto Group. So congratulations.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I actually just got one by the skin of my teeth here a couple months ago, too, from Auto Remarketing. So Automotive News was kind enough to give me the award back in 2014, and then Auto Remarketing gave me an award here just this past year. So
I'm sure well deserved. Yeah, and congratulations on being 40. You just told us you were 40.
Yeah, just on the skin of my teeth. Yeah.
Remember those years, John? Do you remember?
I'm trying.
Okay,
I'm trying. What do you got for us, Chris?
Yeah. So Scott, you kind of tell us how you got into the industry. I know that John and I, we always research to the best of our ability, and you're looking at your LinkedIn profile. It sounds like you had a interesting path back to the family business. Tell us a little bit about it.
I did. I started in the family business. We bought, my father bought the dealership back in 1996. So I was, 14 years old, and I started over there washing cars and cleaning cars and actually cleaning the shop floors. And, everybody had told me what a great job I was doing. And I thought, I'm really not. They're just trying to butter up the owner's kid, and so I decided that I wanted to go off on my own, and I wanted to do my own thing. And actually started working at Gordy's and Chuck's in the kitchens there, and went to college, and I played football in college for a couple of years, and then decided I wanted to go to culinary school. And so I entered the culinary field and worked kind of all over the country in different country clubs, and enjoyed myself a lot. But then the pull of the family business was pretty strong, and there was a lot of things going on, and it's been an exciting industry to be part of.
So, Chris, I have a question, though. Are there any Kunes dealerships now that have, coffee shop pastries or anything in them? Has that connection been made yet?
I was this close. There was one that I was really trying to get it in, and I've often talked about maybe we do a cafeteria. But, the culinary business is a tough business to be in. So
Okay. Well, I bought several Kunes cars, and I'm like, I think that'd be a nice touch while I was waiting.
I'm sure, people, my employees mention it more often than not. When are you cooking lunch or dinner again?
Well, yeah. Thanks for being a great partner of the community as well, Scott. I know Kunes is highly involved in all the communities that their dealerships are in, and we sure appreciate it here in Elkhorn as a partner of the school and the community.
Well, yeah, we appreciate our communities, and our mission statements is building people's lives. And we start with our employees first, and we really try to offer them all the training, support. We offer them. We have chaplains that they can talk to, pastors that go around through the stores. We have mental health clinics that we perform. We have all kinds of things that we try to build our employees with. But then, secondly, we believe a great employee makes for a great member of the community. And if we can support our communities to the fullest extent, the communities will end up supporting us back. And that's what we look to do. And it's been a big part of our business plan since the beginning. We're a Christian-based organization, and we're not afraid to say it. And we do tithe 10%. And so we believe that giving back to those communities and those humanitarian causes is extremely, extremely important.
Great mission. Thanks.
We actually have a question already, Scott. We're going to put it on the screen here. A little technology question. How much of an impact has Tesla or the EV had on Kunes, positive or negative? Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So Tesla is an interesting thing, and I think EV. I've actually done quite a few interviews, and there's a lot of turmoil in the business. And since I got in the business 16 years ago, and even before that, I've heard, that the business is going to change. It's going to change. It's going to change. And in reality, it doesn't change. It pivots, right? It evolves and it adapts. But there's still that core of the auto dealer at its core, right? So, Tesla has made a great product, and I think what they've done is shifted a lot of the manufacturers' focus from, most of the manufacturers all wanted to be Toyota up until about 2 years ago.
Sure.
Now they want to be Tesla, right? And it's kind of funny to me to see them do that. But, I think Tesla's running into some issues now that with this direct consumer model, they're having a very difficult time with trade-ins, with service work and service being performed, and just that that model of helping customers that maybe don't know how to buy a car or want to buy a car through that process.
So Scott, you mentioned a little bit about giving back 10%, and talk to or share with the viewers and listeners a little bit about how Kunes build upon that thought and share some other civic-minded things that you guys are doing or have done, just to tell your story, because I think that's a big part. Obviously, it's your mission.
Yeah. It's we don't just do it in our communities. We do it worldwide. We have 4 orphanages in India that we've built and supported for the underserved female population in India. Mostly, a lot of times, young girls would be, basically sold into slavery if it wasn't for these orphanages. And so we've supported the orphanages in India, Romania, Costa Rica. We do support a lot of the local churches. So our cause is mostly towards the humanitarian end. I mean, do you see our names on scoreboards and things like that at schools? Absolutely, you do. And because we do want to support that across the board. We looked at in the communities. We just made a big donation to the Aram Public Library in Delavan there, because it's such a, people think, well, why are you going to build a library? Well, it's such a central core to a lot of the underserved population. Sometimes it's the only way that they can have internet access, or sometimes childcare and other things. So there's a lot of need out there through our communities and also worldwide. And for us to be able to step into that need is, like you said, paramount to our mission.
Yeah, well, congrats to you guys.
Yeah,
hey, Chris, if we could, speaking of pivoting, kind of pivot back into a question I have for you about a lot of industries, a lot of places are short on employees or can't find employees and struggling in that area. Is the auto industry struggling there too as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. We are. We have right now a pretty massive technician shortage. So, that skilled labor force that works on vehicles and RVs. Really, RVs is tough too, because I always say an RV technician is even harder to find, because as an RV technician, you got to be a carpenter, an electrician, you got to be able to do plumbing, HVAC, and work on a motor. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, and I think if we've had a shift away from that position, but these are very great careers for somebody that has that kind of mechanical aptitude and that desire to work on vehicles like that. This is a great career path for those that maybe, secondary education isn't right for them, or the college area isn't right for them. They can look at some of these trade schools, and we're looking to partner with the schools and the communities in general to try to build that up. Because here, if we have a lack of technicians, what happens then, right? We know, the basis of a market is supply and demand, right? So right. If we have a lack of people to work on vehicles, what happens? The price of working on those vehicles goes up, right?
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, you mentioned that school partnership, or that school end is critical to have the relationship with the school. And I guess, how can schools? I know our autos program is pretty well advanced, and the teacher Austin does a great job with it. And yeah, how important are those connections, or what needs to happen with those connections, or do they need to evolve, or are we at a good place?
No, I think they need to evolve. And I think, back in the kind of the golden age of the auto industry, those programs were huge in schools, just like shop programs and other things were. And I think, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but, there's been a pendulum shift away from that trades and into the secondary education realm. And those trades have suffered, whether it's, like I talked about before, electrical, HVAC, or anything like that. Those jobs are still needed and in high demand and can make for a great career path for somebody. So working with the schools and educating students that there are choices out there, right? There are other paths. I took a very weird path. I have a culinary degree, and now I'm the CEO of a large auto group. So there's other paths out there. So we need to be
I-43 and 67, Kunes restaurant.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, we appreciate Kunes's partnership with our autos program and that, and that's good to hear. And I think it is something that, it would be nice to grow and expand upon, having you guys right here in town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So Scott, what recommendations? So you got two educators here. So, we have an established program. What are some recommendations you would give schools, whether they have a program or don't have a program, and how to align their program with your industry? What are some ingredients you would recommend?
I think this is kind of going back to that Tesla question, and Tesla is, kind of that forefront there of kind of the hot new automaker out there, and everybody's trying to chase it. And they believe that Tesla's secret sauce is that they don't have dealerships, right? They cut out the middleman. When in reality, most manufacturers should realize that their dealer body is a strength, right? This is a large investment that oftentimes we have to outlay to have the facilities and the tools and everything else out there to be able to work and fix on these cars. But not only that, we're ready and willing to partner with the communities to help make them better. And the manufacturers are also on that board, right? So Ford, Stellantis, GM, they all have programs that will work with the school bodies that your dealer can be the mediator between and kind of get you that info and help you develop those programs in conjunction with the manufacturers and the dealership itself.
Yeah, we had a student on a different note at a different dealership who they hired him as a YA, and they said, we'll pay for him to go to an actual, I think it was Chrysler training up in Mequon.
Yep.
So this kid, and they're going to help him with the tools, and I mean, pretty impressive opportunity, to your point about working through the dealership and getting those opportunities to feed that pipeline and really ensure a trained workforce and at the auto technician level. So
yeah,
pretty cool story. Well, John, the time just flies, doesn't it?
It does fly. It does fly. It's hard to believe. I was looking at the clock thinking, wow, we've already been on doing this for 14, 15 minutes.
I know. So
that must mean Scott's really interesting.
Yeah, that is. So, and we all want to be respectful of your time. Scott, we always close out with, we think it's important to say thank you to somebody, that is doing great work, or that we just want to recognize publicly on it. So I'm going to start off. We're going to go to John Anzalo, and we'll let him kick it off on who he wants to thank today.
Well, in spirit of last week and ice days and snow days, I'm thanking our custodial staff here for clearing all that ice and snow, as well as the city of Elkhorn for making sure we could also get around a little bit with that mess we had. So thank all of them.
I'm gonna stay in that same group and thank our bus company for making sure that they are a great partner and work with us to make sure our kids get to school and return safely. Scott, you're up. Send us home.
Yeah, so I gotta thank all those like you said, the city workers, but not just the city workers, all those plow companies that keep our roads safe and lots open. There was it's a tough job to get up there and go through in the middle of the night while everybody else is trying to stay off the roads, and you're out there on the front lines. So thank you all.
You made me think of something though, Scott. Who cleans all those cars when they get full of snow?
All of our salespeople do. Snow day is a very exciting day. The salespeople run out there, they clean off all those cars, and they get pizza for lunch almost every time.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Scott, for being a part of this and all you guys do for not only our local community, but across the world. So thank you so much.
No, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Yep. And,
All right.
uh-oh.
Here we go.
Time. All right. Thanks, Scott. We appreciate it.
Thank you.